Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. How's it going, y'all? Like this. This is nice. All right, let's get started here. Oh, my volume's a little loud. Sorry about that. All right, back to work. Always be auto tiling. Hey, iRush, what's an FTL? It's a game. That's a classic game. How's it going, iRush? It's called FTL. The full name is FTL Faster Than Light. It's a quote-unquote classic top-down game about starship management, where you have a little ship, you fight other little ships, you got a little crew, you got ship systems, you manage the power and the movement of the crew around the ship. So you have little adventures, you make little dialogue choices, you know. Classic. We're taking a crack at this style of game. We're doing a isometric kind of take on it, like a more layered 3D version. So we have this big auto tiler and block editor tool to build these 3D ships that get rendered in, you know, this kind of isometric 2D style. And we're just working on the system for doing that. We made a bunch of changes recently. Hey, Sapphire Starship. Back to a stream. Feels like it's been a while. How'd the event Saturday go? The events Saturday were great. I got to show a lot of people the Grave Escape. Everyone enjoyed the new direct movement system. So that was really fun. Got to hang out with some cool creators like Walt, the creator of Cosmeteer, and a few other local devs that I know. Yeah, we mobbed over there to this barcade after our monthly Godot meetup on Saturday. It was great. I say we mobbed. It was like me and the organizer of the meetup. But it was fun. Never seen a game like this kind? So it's like a resource managing game. That's the game. You thought it was just a background image. It's like a little style guide shot, iRush. It's just like a quick, like, here's the visuals, like super low res, kind of a dimetric, so a bit lower than an isometric view. Very low res. It is just an image, but, you know, and it's a background image, but it's something I can just bring up real quick and give people an idea of the style. Because we're working on a lot of technical stuff right now, which we might as well just get into. We've been working on this big auto tiling system that does a lot of logic on like whether to draw outlines. We recently split the wall piece into 2 separate pieces. So we need to rewrite some of our auto tiling logic to handle that. So we're pretty thick in the weeds here, but how are you doing? So we can build these shapes. It's going to look wrong because bad things are going to start happening because, yeah, so you can already see we've like split the wall into 2 pieces and it doesn't know to get rid of that outline. So we need to fix that. That's one obvious thing to fix. The cutaway system doesn't work anymore, so it should be throwing up pieces here when we do the half cutaway. It's not doing that. If we do a full cutaway, it goes... Oh no, this actually kind of worked there. There's something else I can do which really messes it up, and I don't... Oh yeah, this. I don't know what's going on there, but that's clearly the upper piece not culling when it should be culling. So I don't think the cutaway system understands yet. Hey, Rhiannon Journey. So let's go up to the cutaway system. So we have a lot of logic that determines whether a tile should be hidden or visible. Can't say words. See, the script doesn't look like GD script. What is this? It's mostly written in C#. It's mostly C#. Dave's starting on time. I know, it's crazy. Sapphire, you just got home from getting your business bank account set up. Got Ethan, you might work on finishing up blocking out your style guide spaceship. Well, that's awesome. You got your business, more of your business stuff set up. How's it going, Nix? How's it going, Rhiannon? Happy Tuesday. All right, so what we want to do is we want to go down to the cutaway system. This looks complicated. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff to do one specific thing. I think we're wrapping it up. We just made a big change to it recently to help with outlining, because we have like interior textures and we also do outlining with the auto tiler, and we had to make some changes to help with that. So this is something here is going weird. So if forms dot get the absolute, let's block coords, has any bulk or door, continue. Cutaway exterior. So this is for z equals cursor coords dot z. Cutaways lower bulk. Okay, I don't know if we're treating the cutaways correctly then. I don't think there's actually a problem here. Because the exterior cutaway doesn't handle the upper bulk. Here's the upper bulk cutaway. Forms has any bulk or door. Cutaways, cutaway extent, upper bulk. Okay, yeah, I actually don't think it's a cutaway. Well, maybe it's in here. Reach and extended bounds. Cutaways is upper bulk. Now, I actually don't think I've changed any of this. Or I don't think I need to change this particularly. I think the cutaways still work, but clearly the way we're rendering it with the upper bulk is wrong. So we should actually just be not drawing those at all. Wrapping it up. Look, I can present this however I want. I can give people an indication that I think we're done. No, we're not done. We still haven't even done most of the corners. Next, you're working on your map some more. You're working on the streets. You got a pretty good idea how the map will look. Yeah, the stuff you're doing there is pretty crazy with generating these areas. All right, so yeah, we're only checking for an upper bulk cutaway. I think if there's any, I think if we can just say if cutaway dot has any. I think that should be fine. Hey, Magoo. How's it going? Next, we're actually wrapping up the map editor. No, just the auto tiler. Look. Yeah. Is this even possible in GDScript? You could totally do it in GDScript. I'm not, for reasons. I'm doing all of this stuff outside of the Godot scene tree because I don't want each of those tiles to be nodes. I mean, I guess technically the tile map layers are nodes, but I basically do all of the simulating outside of the scene tree, and it just kind of all happens in this simulation layer that's in C#. And then this layer talks back to the Godot API. Like, we send information back for rendering, we receive information for input, but everything happening on the gameplay layer is like happening here in C# land. You were done with the alpha? What is this game of telephone? The auto tiler. We are trying to finish the auto tiler. How are you doing, Mr. Magoo? How's the VBE and the make files and all the other crazy things you have to deal with? Yeah, I think this can be has any. I think that's causing the problem there. If cutaways.has.cutaway.extents.upper bulk. I might regret that later. But I think for now it's fine. If cutaways has lower bulk, return default. Or upper bulk. Well, No. Okay. Yeah. It would be this or... Well, I actually don't know if I need to do that. I think I might be making one of these checks earlier. Oh, Mr. Magoo cheering with the 100 bits. I'm sorry, I don't have anything cool happen when we get bits. We really need some. I need to ask the nerds how they do that. How they do bit-triggered speaker bot stuff. Magoo, you had to switch to CMake. His makefile just quit itself. You've been having the same VBE issues for a week. How about me? Well, I don't have those issues. iRush, you were wondering why I wasn't coding inside Godot itself. Yeah. If I'm doing GD script, I do like coding inside the Godot editor. Oops, that was very much the wrong project. All right, come on, Godot. Was not trying to open this project. Now I gotta fix some stuff. Oh, no changes? Okay. This one. Getting to the point where I'm having too many projects in my project tree there. Rhiannon, it's been a busy day at home and work. It's going well. You have a big pot of chili cooking. You're looking forward to relaxing after some work. Nice. Yeah, it got really cold here all of a sudden. It poured rain on Sunday. And it just immediately, the temperature dropped like 15 degrees. And it's kind of held there. And my thermostat, I realized, was broken. So I busted out the space heater. I was like sitting with my feet on like a heat pad last night when I realized that. When I got home and it was like so cold in my apartment. And my central heater doesn't work. Well, the thermostat doesn't work. But luckily I have this big old oil heater. It just like radiates oil. Plug that in. And then I was frozen this morning because I forgot it was on daylight savings time for some reason. The heater was. So I wake up and it didn't turn on. It's been cold there also. Too many projects? Yeah. Next, chili. Yeah, chili sounds good. Chili for chilly weather sounds good. It's been freezing there. Might snow soon, Magoo. You have oil heater and radiator on. Nice. Yeah, I live in a city where nobody has air conditioning, but everyone has a heater. It was below 30 degrees there this morning. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to cold. You have real cold. Most of you, but I'm a fragile California flower, so... If it gets below 50, I'm like dying. I like it though. Here but no further, I think. What am I doing? Why did I open the editor? No reason. I guess just to show that we do have GD scripts. What do you do? What do you do, iRush? What kind of stuff do you work on? You sound like you're a Godot dev. Appreciate people hopping into the YouTube chat. You're not alone. Just most people are over on Twitch chat. That's who I'm talking to. I know everyone's always like, who's he talking to? You think it was more like 20 when you went to work on a bike? 20 Fahrenheit. That's crazy. Brandon, you're not sure if anyone has this memory, but your wife and you both have core memories of school lunches of chili and cinnamon rolls. So that's normal meal over there. That I don't, but that sounds pretty good. Sweet and savory. That sounds nice. All right, what am I doing? Oh yeah, so I encapsulated a lot of functionality for the corner checking, and I rerouted all of the tiles to go through one function, whether they're overlays or not. They just go through the same process. If they have a mask, we just account for it at this level down here where we're doing all of the checking. So what I actually think is the problem right now is that the walls don't skip. They don't return default during the right situations. So if cutaways has extents.lower bulk, yeah. Lower bulk, yeah. I could technically just have one Z bulk layer. I could share them. I'm not going to do that. Well, maybe I do. I actually could totally do that. We'll see. We'll see if I start to like decide to optimize and reduce the number of layers we use. Right now, it's not a problem. All right, let's see what I did. Mr. Magoo in good measurements, please. That's funny. What do you want it in Kelvin? Dave, go back to working. Stop looking at Discord. I'm not looking at Discord. What are you doing over on Discord, you goblin? What are you trying to sneak past me? Nothing? All right. Psyching me out here. Why I oughta. I just gave your message a reaction. I did that like an hour ago. All right, what am I doing? Am I running this thing? Where is it? Here it is. I'm a little unfocused. Oh yeah, we gotta fix this. I wonder if there's underlines being drawn there too. But clearly the upper part of the wall and the lower part of the wall aren't talking to each other, and it's drawing a divider between them. So we gotta work on that. See how we're doing with this right now. At least it seems to be, oh, that's a weird place to do that. Okay, it does it for the middle hull, but not the exterior, which is curious. Okay, well the full cutaway seems to be working now. Seems. Emphasis on seems. What in the heck? Okay, there's still something weird going on here. There's probably a hull check that doesn't include a cutaway check. That's usually what this means, I think, because it's failing to draw the remaining tile faces for a partial cutaway. For an upper bulk cutaway, it's failing to draw the Z. Am I sure that that's what it is? Could it also just be like in the wrong place? It could be. Let's focus on this one, because this one seems to be what's wrong. You know, I could have possibly given it the wrong offset. Let's check that, I guess. Lower bulk, C, T-res. $12. Yeah, these ones all should be 12. Okay. Well, that's not it. That's not it then. Yeah, I also prefer cold over hot weather. Rhiannon. Lower bulk, does this have the right resource assigned to it? It does. Okay, so that doesn't seem to be the problem. Problem is somewhere else here. Get lower bulk Z tile if cutaways has cutaway extents lower bulk. Or hulls contains hull key with W. We're saying, or if there is a hull here on our tile that is an upper bulk Z. Okay, so if we're being cut away or there is a tile above us that isn't being... Oh, so here there's a minus Z and here there's no minus Z. So I gotta make up my mind here. I gotta get rid of that minus Z. I think that's it. Is the upper bulk Z actually working then? Probably not. It has the same problem, I imagine. So this one is, yeah, this one is look up. I don't know if I love this. Hull key with W equals this minus this. I don't know if I love that order. Thanks for the hydrate. Magoo, you got the Raid Master? Okay. Could we raid CA2 software? They work on CA2 framework. Is often quite lonely on stream. They're very nice and funny. Sometimes plays tunes. For subs, follows, bits, etc. Yeah. If they're still online in a couple of hours, yes. Thanks for the hydrate and the stretch. Sapphire. They usually go through the night? Okay, yeah. If they're still on. CA2 software. Okay. Sounds good. I think you're the first person to actually intend to use that channel point reward. All right. I think that does it. Let's try. Let's give it a try here. Okay, there we go. All right, that's resolved. All right, now we got to deal with this dividing line. I wonder if that's being projected up from below or down from above. I guess we check down from above first. Kind of makes sense that we don't check for this. We never wrote for this. So. I also need to fix those outer ones. The ones that are inconsistent. That's part of the reason we made this change. And now I got to turn it back on. But only for the upper. So those are the two rule changes we need to make so far. We need to check the bottom barrier, the bottom border, and the upper border. Let's look at the deck X and Y, and then copy some of that behavior over to the upper bulk. X and Y. Faces. Rhiannon Journey, thanks to the ECS conversation last stream, you're frozen on your game trying to decide if you should use one. In reality, it's not going to make a difference for your gameplay prototype, and you just need to stop procrastinating and get back to work. Yeah, the answer... If it makes you feel better, the answer like 9 times out of 10 is no. Even for this game, the answer about whether I should have made an ECS or not is still probably no on balance. I probably didn't want one or need one. I could have probably made one real simple. I talked to Hex more about the way they do theirs, and the way they do theirs is so much simpler than what I'm doing. Their way is smart. Theirs, they just add Whenever a node that needs to be tracked by the ECS comes into being, it just registers itself. So it's a lot easier to like get a hold of your entities and understand what they are, and then you just use that as a framework for composing the other nodes that you add as components to that entity. Well, I don't know if they're doing that, but that's how I would do it. Is I would then just add other nodes as components. And I think you could do that in the scene tree pretty effectively as just a way of organizing your scene tree without all the insane things that I'm doing with my ECS. A little more hardcore, like data structure kind of things that I'm doing. I feel like you could get the organizational benefits with doing very little. What does it stand for? Entity Component System. So it refers to the three things that make up the thing. There's the entity, which is just an ID to a unique thing. It's just a way of getting a hold of a thing and knowing what you're talking about. Then there are the components, which are the individual data, which are organized, you know. And then there's systems, which are the things that process those entities. So like we're in the tile system right now. Tiles aren't entities, but we're processing what are the entities, which are, we're processing the block forms and the block rooms, which are components of the entity. The entity is the ship. You could think of it as the ship. So for each ship, we go through, we grab all of its, we hold all of our blocks in a buffer. So the buffers aren't components for us. The buffers are entries just in a array, basically. We use spans. We mostly use spans here, but so even I am not really doing a lot of ECS stuff right now. Most of the performance intensive stuff we're doing, like with the auto tiler and the flood fill and everything, is actually just operating on an array of spatially indexed value, like blocks. Y'all are crazy over here with your various interpretations of what ECS stands for. Magoo, how many dedicated GPUs do y'all have in your PC right now? You have 2. That's one more than I do. I don't know if people have multiple GPUs in their PC nowadays. I really don't think most people do this. I don't think we live in an SLI crossfired kind of world anymore. Oh, Nix, you got a 4090 overclocked. Look at you. You think you know what I'm talking about now? That's good, as long as somebody does, Sapphire. So what do I think I'm doing? Why did I come in here? Oh yeah, we're gonna look at... We're gonna go look at our... So what I've done is I've kind of shoved all the auto tiling rules into these these big switch expressions that just takes the layer from the hall key and gives us an answer. So if mask is null, deck plate X, we want the negative, not has edge, positive Y. But yeah, that's what we want. So this is, I think, the part that says whether we should draw the side. What do we do for the bulk? What's the equivalent? Oh, it's in the same function. Okay, this is at least easier to cross compare now. So when we do this, so I don't want positive Y, I want positive X. My idea is like, these calls are recursive. It's like, yeah, they are. But only like once. Like if you call in and you've got a mask, then you just call in again without the mask. You do other things too, but you also do that. Because it like, if there is a mask, you hit this and then hit this. Because you need to know the result of this to resolve this. Rhiannon, you have a single 4070. Magoo, you have a happily married 5060 Ti and 3050. It's an interesting combo. I think I need to build some smaller PCs to replace my old Windows 10 PCs this year. I'm going to look around when we hit Black Friday and Cyber Monday and stuff. I'll probably end up going with like 4060s. 40, 60, 16 gigs, like that. If I can find one. I don't think I would spring for a 5060. Do like AM5, 4060, something like that. A couple of those. I'm trying to build a couple of them, so I'm not going to spring for big stuff. But I do want them to be, you know, last a while. Your banking app is down. Cloudflare. Maybe Cloudflare. Sapphire, you got the 7900 XTX. Ooh, fancy. All right, so I want to look at this. I'm letting myself get distracted. I want to look at upper bulk X. So there's this is, I think, what we're interested in. What does it look like up here? And not cutaways deck plate or and not. So you're checking these out. You're checking your diagonal. Yeah, you are checking your diagonal. That's weird. Plus X. Plus Y. Oh, you're checking the plate in front of you and over. That's interesting. Is that what we want to do? Is that how we're going to get the same behavior? Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, so can I just take this part and add this down here? And get the same behavior, pretty much? I don't think the has any is what I want, though. Oh, yeah, this should be out here, huh? Why is this? Why are we having a hard time with this? There we go. I don't know if this should be a has any. Oh, maybe it should, because we're talking about the upper bulk. I think we can, again, say has any. Let's see what that does. Nix, you heard from a friend that AWS was down again today? Could be that. I don't know. I didn't hear that. I did hear about Cloudflare, though. You have fun distracting me? Oh, yeah, no. I enjoy being distracted. It's like a second job for you. Good. I'm glad you're taking it seriously. Glad you're a professional distractor. Magoo, you were thinking of using AWS a while ago, but you got a server instead. Yeah, I'm thinking about converting one of my old Windows machines into some kind of server. Start my ill-advised foray into, like, Linux or something. Some of my old computers. My new computers are still going to all be Windows, but it might be fun to have some... Oh, hey, that worked. I wonder if there are any side effects. You can see the outline on the right corner is full. And the outline on the left corner kind of gets interrupted partway down. So, cool, that worked. So we just need the same to do the same thing for the other side. Well, at least I understand these rules enough to figure out which condition I can I can just pull out and throw somewhere else. It's neat. Why did I format these like this? Oh, those are correct. Oh no. Oh yeah, I did this super weird. Why did I do that? Wait, now what did I do? How's there another... Oh, there's probably something wrong up here. I got distracted. I let myself get distracted. Yeah, there it is. Rhiannon Journey, if you do need to use AWS for some reason, don't use the US East 1 region. That's where the most big failures happen. Yeah, I think they require you to use that for certain services. I use one of the West ones. I don't know which one. But yeah, I've never had problems. Sapphire, you set up your old PC as a Jellyfin media server and a Raspberry Pi now set up as the Home Assistant server. Oh, nice. Random Journey, personally, you still use DigitalOcean for predictable costs. Yeah, I want to do some kind of NAS or media box setup with my old one, I think. Not sure what. You use DigitalOcean, Random Journey? Cool. Next, you made a small server from a really small x86 PC. You used it for downloading data from a messaging server periodically as backups. You wanted to install Home Assistant on it, but then you decided to use an old Raspberry Pi you had lying around. Nice. Magoo, you don't like the Raspberry Pis? They seem neat. They seem neat. I'm not enough of like a DIY guy. It's partly because I don't have time. It's partly because I don't have room. I think if I had an expressed need or desire for those services to do something with them, I can safely get rid of some of these parentheses here. I was afraid to get rid of them before, but I don't know why. I think it was because I wanted to clearly express that those conditions were connected, but I think that's adequately expressed. Okay, I think I got it. Let's see if we got that outline that I want. I did not. Curious. Did I not finish? Oh, this should say has any. Okay. Yeah, sick. All right, the one little outlining change I really wanted to make, I was able to do there. Okay, the lower bulk needs the same behavior then to some extent. Okay. Okay, we need to add the same line to the lower bulk, I think. Wait, why is this parenthetical here? It should be down here too then. Wait, why do this? This and this. Or the... Yeah, I don't need that. That's not necessary. I don't actually know why I did that up here. I don't think that changes the behavior. Should we like this? Yeah, I don't even have a printer. I don't know where I would put one. Studio apartments in San Francisco are small. Very small. Why is this? This and this and this, or this? I don't think this does anything, but it's marked as if it does. I'm a little scared. Sorry, I'm kind of just messing around right now. Oh yeah, we want to add that here. I think this should be cutaway.expense.lower bulk. And this one should be the other one. This one. Oh, let's see what kind of horrible things I've caused. Why is this so far down here? Yeah, there you go. Oh, you know what I watched over the weekend? Blade Runner 2049. I'd avoided that movie for 8 years or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why. It's kind of okay. I kind of liked it. It's a lot more cynical than the original Blade Runner. Less ambiguous, too, which is a little unfortunate. But. Hey, Justin. The ternary ifs. Look. Sometimes you just want to see it all without a big if else, if else, if else, if and this and that, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, what these are these the rule books for an auto tiler. And they're rough. But they work. How's it going? Let's see if the changes we just made work. Having confidently said they work. All right. How's it going? Welcome in. People give ternaries a bad rap. I mean, you don't want to nest them too far, but you know, they're simple. If you want an output for both branches, why not? Just use a ternary. Yeah, this looks good for here. What about with the full cutaway? Yeah. So there's still the horizontal divider between the upper and the lower segment of the wall that shows up incorrectly. It shows up here. It obviously shows up here, just on the piece that's following your cursor around. But the horizontal walls seem to be good. Or the up-down outlines for the horizontal borders looks good. So that's good. So let's work on getting rid of this erroneous divide here. I bet that's the upper wall casting down to the lower for some reason. Which would be in not has edge positive Y right here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind the ternaries. Like, here's what you do if the mask is null. Here's what you do if the mask is not null. Here's what you do if the hull type has a value. Here's what you do if the hull type does not have a value. Admittedly, there we go. The indentation is wrong. Where does this go? Why is this have a parenthesis wrapping it? It's like the whole thing. Mask contains this and this and this and this and this and this. Or and then this whole thing. I feel like I don't need to do it this way. I think I was a little too aggressive. That said, the parentheses does say it's doing something. So that's interesting. Is that better? That's better. I'm not going to mess with those at the moment. I'm afraid of touching anything that claims to be doing something. But yeah, what we want to do is we want to go down to the upper bulk X and the upper bulk Y in here. I'm just going to format this real quick. JetBrains is kind of weird when it does this for me. Kind of have different opinions. It is hard to organize this in a way that's readable. I admit that. You love a good ternary? Yeah, the problem is when you have too many of them in a row. That, I will admit, that gets out of hand pretty quickly. Here's this. Here are these parentheses that I'm pretty sure don't do anything. Hey, Davros, is this C# instead of GDScript? How's it going? Yes, this is. Yes, this is. We've split our simulation layer kind of off into its own little world. And right now we are navigating the auto tiler of that world. Wait, why'd it do that? That's weird. That was a weird choice. I don't understand JetBrains writers sometimes. That said, I could get rid of these. I'm pretty sure that doesn't do anything. We're just formatting some stuff. Make it easier to read. There we go. Should be better. Let's make sure I didn't ruin anything. Is that some kind of match expression going on? Yeah, it's a switch expression. So very similar. All right, regression check. Quick regression check. Oh, there's some weird stuff going on there. Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on with the overlay is what I'm getting. Although there is a general problem in some of these cases. Yeah, there's the divider between the upper wall segment and the lower wall segment. That's for some reason only showing with the middle hall, with like the interior space, the space between walls. Interesting. Ooh, okay, so the outline isn't done either. What is that? Is that a floor piece? Yeah, the outline's behaving weirdly. That's fine. Let's solve the general problems before we worry about the outline specific problems. But this is getting there. Yeah, I want to get rid of that extra outline. How do we say that? It's like, if it's the same material, and if there isn't a lower wall in front of us. So plus across and plus down. Okay. How's it going, Davros? What have you been working on? Is that some kind of 3D cursor with a cutaway view? Yeah, it is. It's a cutaway view. We're trying to do this kind of isometric 2D take on FTL, faster than light. Hey, Diginanigans, how's it going? And we're working on an auto tiler to help us draw these kinds of areas, these kinds of spaces, and a block editor tool to help us build them. And yeah, the cutaway is pretty crucial because it's a 3D space that we're rendering in a sort of isometric 2D. Okay, well, I feel like I'm pretty confident I feel like I could just get rid of these. But yeah. Deborah, some of us like ternaries so much that we switch language to one where if else just return something. It's funny. Okay, I think this is fine. It's this and this and this, or this, and this, and this. Let's see if that worked. Or if I messed things up. So far, so good. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay. I think I'm almost done cleaning this branch, and then I'll do the actual work involved. Oh. Keep this one. Maybe? Yeah. Hold on a second. Oh, I did this one already. That's why. Why is this being weird? Oh. That's why. Indentation guesser is actually pretty good as long as everything is like scoped correctly. All right, that's about as readable as it's gonna get. All right, so what am I doing? I am looking at the deck plate X and deck plate Y. Not has positive edge Y. And so... Oh, no, I'm not looking at this one. I'm looking at these. Upper bulk X, upper bulk Y. What is lower bulk X and lower bulk Y? Deck, lower, deck. Lower, lower. Hold on a second. I might have just transcribed this wrong. I think this one should be upper. Upper bulk. I kind of just copied the behavior from the lower sections of the wall. Hanigans, you're not doing too bad. You're off this week. Other than getting errands done and playing some games, you've been making some good progress on your map editor, as well as your content authoring tools. Nice, nice. Hanigans, map editor itself can now paint tiles smoothly with interpolated smoothing if your cursor jumps cells between frames. Ooh. Can change brush size, quickly toggle mid paint between add erase. You have a buffer system, so tiles are rendered as you draw, but not committed until you release the mouse button. Nice. We have a similar system. A bunch of other quality of life and UX improvements. Yeah, that sounds like your tool is coming along there. That's good. That's good stuff. All right, let's see what this does. I would not be surprised if this is why it's not working. Although the problem we're seeing... Oh, no, it is happening at the... Okay, let's see. Is it still happening? Okay, it's not happening in those cases to the underlying tile. So now it looks like it's only happening... Ooh, what's that? Okay, well, that's still wrong. There's still some kind of cutaway thing happening there on the lower X and the lower Y. Okay. This out. Okay, we're coming along. I'm really distracted by the overlays. Dividing line. Huh. Oh, there's something weird. It's not affected here, but it is affected there. I think it's a has any problem. I think it should say has any and not lower bulk. That would be the positive X branch. Positive X for the lower bulk. Yeah, so I think instead of this, it should say has any. Or it could be has any, and then we pass in lower bulk. Or cutaway extents. We have to pass in these because otherwise it could be just the upper bulk. So I think we just do it like this. Mash those two together. Rihanna Journey, it started raining over there. It's not cold enough for snow yet. Definitely cold enough to curl up in front of the fake fireplace tonight. Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah. I might watch another movie tonight. I kind of want to watch the original Blade Runner. 2049 was like so much fan service and nonsense, but it did have a good vibe. Had a good vibe. But it did make me just want to watch the original. I think I have the final cut on Blu-ray. Pop that in, might watch that tonight. I should be working on game dev stuff tonight, but I don't think I have the energy. I worked a lot last night doing some refactoring. Did I fix the problem? Did I check? I don't know when it's going to rain here again. It rained so much on Sunday into Monday. I don't think it's going to be raining again for a bit, though. Nope. Nothing on the horizon. Rip. I would love way more rain. Someday. Someday I'll live somewhere. It just rains all the time. Ooh. Okay. So far so good here. What happens when I do this, though? And now I cut it away. Okay. It's crazy. As gnarly and ridiculous as the auto-tiling rules are, I actually kind of have an intuition for them now. Which is good, because they're not commented in any way. But yeah, that's all working just fine. I guess now we move on to overlay-specific problems. There's some in-between stuff that happens for a fraction of a second. But I think it's okay. I think it's during the brief period of time that the flood fill system is updating. Which is happening on another thread. Seems to be looking all right, though. Overlays being weird, though. So it seems to be happening anytime that I have a wall selected. So it's all right. So what do I want to? What do I need to add there? I don't know. Yet. All right. What we can do is we can go back down to the not has edge positive Y. You watched Prey recently and really enjoyed it? Nice. I haven't seen that. You had about a week of snow so far. It's all gone again. You're looking forward to watching Mighty 9. Comes out on Prime tomorrow. Oh, yeah, yeah. I started watching... I started watching the first season. I watched the first episode of the original one, whatever it's called. Vox Machina. And it was crazy how much they did in the first episode. It felt like they did a whole campaign in the first episode. It's crazy how much it's condensed. And they like fought a big bad and already like advanced onto some next threat. And I'm like, wow, this is moving fast. I hear the Mighty 9 is going to be slower. That could be cool. And against convoluted logic, almost ironically, is one of the worst things to comment in code. Because the more convoluted it is, the more likely it is to change, and the more likely your comment will be wrong. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I'm fully on purpose not commenting this. Because it's totally... I am trying to make it as descriptive as possible, which it's not very, but for me, it helps. All right, so we need to add some more logic to the mask is null stuff. It looks like what we might need to be doing. So we look at this. Oh, it's not here. It's here. So if the mask is null, we do this. So we're more curious about this branch. Oh, we got a spam bot. All right. Ready the photon torpedoes. You got it. I'm on it. I'm gonna blast him.
He's dead, Jim.
Not yet. I'm working on it. All right. We got him. Mighty Nine's looking a lot better. I might check it out. Because, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I need another, like, short animated show to watch. You know, you can only watch Lower Decks on repeat so many times. Maybe I'll dip back in. All right, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? Modifying these to get rid of this outline. So if we could normally get rid of it and there isn't a hull of this type in front of us, or we're cutting it away. So cutaway has cutaway extents lower bulk. So if there isn't one here, or we're getting rid of it, that doesn't seem quite right. Okay, or there is no mask here? What? Oh, if we're not masked. And there is no mask there. Okay. So we're going to presume that we are masked. Looking for the lower bulk. So I think it's probably this. Let's see if we say has any. Say cutaway.extents.deck plate. Or this. Let's try this and see what that does. They got more experience, a bigger team, and more funding for the Mighty Nine. Not to mention, just seems to be based on a more in-depth, less goofy story. I think they're 45-minute episodes, 8 in total. You think they're going to release 3 tomorrow, and then once a week until they're all out? Oh, I'm quoting you on this. Quoting you right now. They premiered the first episode on YouTube as a promo over the weekend and have since taken it down. You enjoyed it? I'll check it out. I'll try to check, because I presume there's virtually no continuity. I mean, I'm sure there is in the world, but like, I'm sure I would be fine. Okay, that accomplished nothing. What I did here. So is it maybe not that part that's telling us this? Is it possibly... What if... What if instead of this... Alright, sanity check. I need to figure out which side it actually is. Which side is actually doing this. I'm just gonna return true. Yeah, I'm not gonna simplify it. What do you want from me? What's this error expected? Okay. Can I just... Okay, you know another problem? Oh. Oops. Duh. I'm commenting out everything else. Repairing your feet on the radiator. Yeah, I was doing that with a heat pad yesterday. All right. Okay. This is interesting. This is interesting. So if I force it to be true, that actually doesn't get rid of it. So I actually think that this is happening somewhere else. So what if I say lower bulk X? If I do the same thing here. They're both their own standalone series. You think they're technically in the same world, but otherwise have very little to do with each other. None of the same characters, none of the same events. Yeah, no, that sounds cool. I'll probably check that out then. Oh! Okay, we got some progress. Some. Oh, there's an underlying problem. You can see the light gray, which means that there's an issue for the fundamental auto tile bit. Okay, cool. So this is not an overlay specific problem. It's just obvious. It's most obviously affecting the overlay. Okay. That helps. That helps me figure this out. So the problem is not down here. So I'm gonna any I kind of want to add this part, but I also kind of want to just change this part back for now. And then go up here and see if the problem is up here. Well, let's try to figure it out. So I think this lower bulk, when it's looking upward, I think this is not quite right. All right, so when you look up, you're like, are we not cutting away the space above us? We're not cutting away the space above us. And for bulk X out adjacent is the same type. Okay, that's all good. And then what are we doing? We're saying, like, are we included in the mask? Are they included in the mask? Or are we not included in the mask? Okay. That Twitch is not working on you on Firefox? Sorry, Arneo. Well, glad you made it. All right, well, what's going on here? All right, I guess we're continuing to find the source of the problem. We're going to continue to look for it. What's going on here? Hey, Smooth, in a second. We're fixing a few auto tiling rules, so that's still there. Okay, what if I re-add this part here? Upper bulk X has any... Is this positive Y? Oh yeah, it says. I think it needs to say this. I don't see why, but maybe it does. So upper bulk X and not hulls contains lower bulk Z. Oh yeah, plus we're in front. It's in front of us, right? It's not there. Or it's been cut away. And that, or that. Okay, okay. Oh, let's see what we got. Still nothing good. Curious. And not cutaways. Plus Y. Wait, plus Y, plus Y. So we're looking in front. We're like, oh, here's a has that should probably also be a has any, huh? So if we're not cutting that part away. Yeah, that seems a bit wrong, but let's try to narrow it down here. How's it going, Arneo? How's space sub combat going? Or spaceship stuff? It looks so cool. Okay, well this is concerning. We're still seeing the outline even though I've basically forbidden it from being drawn. At least I think I have. This is just true. Oh. I guess the best thing to do is to get rid of this part. Try that. Try to see where the hang up is here. Okay, it's not there. Space stuff slowed down a mite. You're figuring out scanning. Every feature you add turns into a user interface design, which feels very outside your comfort zone. Yeah, I don't love user interfaces. They are hard. Okay, that line is still here. Line is still here. I'm just trying to figure out where the switch is that I can pull that just makes it go away. Key with lower bulk X, out haul bulk, it's adjacent. Still drawing. I don't know how this is physically possible. Well, it's obviously somewhere in here. Upper bulk and not cutaways dot has extents gut plate. Upper bulk. Upper bulk. That could be part of it. I don't think I changed this code from yeah, okay. There's definitely a problem here. I see it now. Shorten these. So you can actually see. Nanigans, you're not a fan of interfaces either. You prefer either composition or duck typing. Funny. Funny man. All right. Surely this is where this problem is originating. Oh, still no joy. Okay. Hull type has value. Hulls try get value. Hull key. Oh. So this -1 shit. Well, that's obviously part of the problem. Yeah, I'm getting bitten by the fact that I think I copied a lot of behavior from the back when it was just one kind of wall. Now there's two kinds of walls, and I have not adapted all the behavior yet. Why are you looking -Z? Upper bulk X. Yeah, we gotta get rid of all this -Z stuff. And also, why are we checking here? It shouldn't be -Z. It should be -Z, but it should also be. Well, it should be +Z. I think. No. It should be +X. What are we checking right now? Where are we? Not has. We're in the upper. Oh, I'm in very much the wrong area. Oops. Well, that explains why this had no effect and why I messed all of this up. Well, let's undo that. I'm on the wrong layer. What else is new? Let's leave that alone. I might have overdone it with the rollback here. Hey, Arnold, over on the YouTube. If you're in the mood for teaching you basic stuff, what's typing? Oh, nice. I think your preference is vector math, which happily you've gotten to do a lot of. I hate vector math, so I'm glad you're enjoying it. And yeah, that's probably mostly what that space combat is, positional space combat. I think Diginanigans meant to write duck typing and not duct typing. I don't know. Duck typing is like a funny way of saying if it quacks like a duck, it probably is one. It's about using something. It's about treating something based on the way you can use it more so than about what it may or may not technically be. It's like asking if something. It's like asking if a custom node has like a function. If Hulk smash, then Hulk smash. You're quacking up? Oh my god, Mr. Magoo. Alright, I don't know where I am anymore. Okay, not has an edge, positive Y. So we were trying to make sure that it's not the issue of the upper wall casting down to the lower. So the way we're making sure of that... Thanks for the hydrate, Mr. Magoo. Yeah, Digitanic was making a funny joke about interfaces. To be clear, Arneo and I were talking about user interfaces, not programming interfaces. A programming interface is like, let me see if I can find one. Probably in the ECS there's lots. Like a component buffer. Like an iBuffer component is an interface. So it defines certain properties and methods. Well, in this case, just properties. But it defines things that something has to have to be considered something that can be used as such. And so that's another way to do this kind of approach to programming and composing things. You can just say something implements this, and then you can do it. And GDScript is like that a lot, right? You'll be like, if I made the joke of like if Hulk smash, you'd be like if Hulk.has smash smash. If Hulk smash, thanks Smooth in a second. Thanks for making a clip of that about me explaining duck typing. Digitanic is definitely a typo. Duck typing, yeah, quacks like a duck, treat it like a duck. Exactly. All you want is the position of something. You don't care if it's a car, a dog, a projectile, or whatever. All you care is that it has the position. You'll treat it like a position object. Yeah, we get to achieve that for free with our components. Pretty much, because I can just call a query that's like, give me literally everything with the position, and I could then process everything with the position regardless of what else it has. I could say, give me everything with a position and a direction and do something else, or I could say, you know, stuff like that. Thanks, Nix. All right, what am I doing? I'm not happy with the current problem that I have, which is causing me to like blank out. Oh yeah, I'm narrowing down where the problem site is what I'm attempting to do. We're gonna see if it's in the overlay specifically. Or we're gonna see if it's lower level than that. I think it's lower level than that, but I did a bad job testing, so I can't be certain of anything. Okay. So that's the upper bulks facing down. Now we have the lower bulks facing up. I actually want to test the other version of this. So we're just going to eliminate the overlay entirely from the equation and not test the overlay. We're going to make sure this isn't just happening in general. All right. So in theory, download grammar and spelling checker. No thanks. For Astorian. What even is that? Is that like a crazy language? I don't mean crazy. Is that just a language I've never heard of before? Oh, it is a language. What is this? Oh, okay, cool. Will you just go away? Okay. Okay, so I've gotten rid of the bright white outline, so it is some underlying tile issue because you still see the light gray. So that means it's an underlying issue. Okay, good. Okay, good. Then let's see if it's the top casting down or the bottom casting up. We're just gonna return true. That's just how we're gonna fix this. And by fix it, I mean test it. Let's see if it's the lower section casting up or the upper section casting down that's causing this. Well, it's not that one. Or it's supposedly not that one. We'll do the same check here. It's still there. Curious. It goes away, though. Oh. I might have a slight problem here. This might actually just be the two halves just slightly overlapping. I actually have to do something about that. What am I going to do about that? These aren't semi-trans... Oh, those are semi-transparent. Okay. I actually need to make a change at the tile set atlas level to fix this. Look at the template. So the problem is that this is actually, there's just an overlay. Actually, this is only a problem for the overlay version of it. So the overlay. So for this one, I actually need to pick one of these and reduce the pixel, like take a line off of one of these. I should probably take it from the lower section is what I would suspect that I should do. All right, so that would be X bulk half texture. So it's really just, should just be this, just erasing this one. Actually, I did this slightly wrong. This should be fine. All right, does that, will that, why don't I see that? Why don't I see that at the deck level? Is it because the only time that could happen there would be some kind of overlay? I actually don't know why I don't see that. Let us export this file. Reload it here. Oops. Gotta remember to turn the background off when I do that. There we go. Let's see what we got now. Could have just been an overlap. That is quite a vector movement function, Arnold. Shenanigans, you're playing around with doing your own mica effect on your app, building it in an Electron, which has native support for the mica effect, but has weird quirks to prevent you from using it how you want. So instead, you're pulling the user's desktop background yourself, applying a blur effect and various other processing, and offsetting its position to the inverse of your window location. Interesting. What's a mica effect? An opaque dynamic material that incorporates theme and desktop wallpaper to paint the background of long-lived windows such as apps and settings. Interesting. Semi-transparent frosted visual. Oh, cool. That sounds cool. I'll probably want to do something like that for Lo-Fi Flyby, maybe? For the background? I don't know. Okay, now it's gone. Okay, that's weird that I had that problem, but only there. Why don't I see that problem elsewhere? I should be seeing that same problem at the deck layer, and I don't. So that's weird, but whatever. A win's a win. I'll take what I can get. All right, now I need to figure out the overlay specific part of that problem. I kind of miss the slight overlap look. Kind of want to bring that back, actually. And in fact, I don't totally understand why I don't see it right now. Yeah, I actually don't understand. It must be the way I'm applying it. I'm doing some stuff with the modulate for the input. I don't see why that would cause... Oh, whatever. As you're handling the blur effect yourself, you can do a couple cool blending effects with it. Nice, nice. Yeah, that sounds cool. All right, so mystery partially solved. Shouldn't I put this up here and then like move all of this over by one? Really trying to do as little indentation as possible. Especially because we're just zoomed in so much. All right. I wonder if the auto tiling rule is actually fine. And it was just a quirk of the tile set atlas. I guess we'll find out. I'm getting hungry. All right, okay. That stupid little format adjustment is done, and that was good. Oh. I was like, why can't I see everything? All right, so let's see where we're at. Okay, there's still an overlay problem. We don't have that underlying problem anymore, but the overlay is still freaking out a little bit. So let's see why. Let's try to find out why. Command here, excuse me, not has edge, and mask contains this, and mask contains. Hold on a second here. This is very wrong, this part. Oh, never mind. I'm in the wrong area again. There we go. Well, we pretty much do the same thing here, so it's good to know. So, and mask contains this, I think it's maybe... Oh, would we ever want to draw this? Almost never, huh? So do we actually not want any of these additional checks? Is that what's messing us up here? Are these just wrong? Because this isn't actually at the border of anything? Ah. I see. Well, okay, there's still some exceptions like this. Oh, normally you would. I see, I see. You would normally draw this because of the outline, so... Obviously, we need some kind of we need this first line. This. I think this is all we need. Next, skip the radio station. Okay, I'll pick another one. You got it. What do I want to listen to? Lo-fi would be maybe a little too similar, so I won't do that. Maybe I'll play my little chill guitar station that always reminds me of RimWorld. Skipping the song is fine too. That's a separate redeem. That would be skip music track. My high roller redeems are way too cheap. Like picking the radio station and like Raid Master and stuff. I don't know. That's fine. We're listening to this now. Okay, this is back. Curious. Curious. Oh. Okay, we need some more logic here. We need some, like... We actually want not. This might be enough. I think I want to do some kind of cutaway check, probably. It's probably one thing that I need to do to figure this out. There's probably some exception here. I'm not realizing. That seems fine. For the side that I fixed, at least, you know. Okay. I think that's it. That's really easy. Get rid of this. I think we're good. Why isn't there any overlap happening? Kind of weird. Kind of expected some that crosshatch look Is it because the texture itself isn't semi-transparent? It's the tile map layer that I'm making semi-transparent, so we don't get those fun overlaps. But if in that case, then why did I see it here? A little strange. Not quite sure what was happening there, but it's gone now, so let's not get bogged down, I guess. Alright, there is still some weird stuff that happens, like this. I see that. So that's the negative X outline of the deck. Okay. Manigans, you enjoy building tools and useful applications in general. You don't really enjoy building a lot of marketing type stuff, such as emails, banner ads, convoluted websites, etc. Yarnold, you know very few people that take naturally to marketing. Might be a cultural thing, though. Self-promotion is kind of frowned upon where you come from. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who loves marketing except marketers. Next, you just had a great idea for your map. It means you have to redo a lot of work you already done. That is the way. That is game dev. Alright, negative X. The outline version of the deck. Deck plate X. Well, let's be a little more consistent about the way we look at this, I guess. Okay, these are all the same from an outlining standpoint, which is concerning. Just gonna reformat stuff because I am kind of unfocused right now. But we're running out of errors that we can see, so that's good. Is there a reason this whole thing has a... That doesn't do anything, I don't think. Oh, why is this being weird? There we go. Hey, Fox Shadow. This looks nothing like FTL. What are all these words and letters and stuff? I know. It's a tragedy. How are you doing? Or maybe it's a travesty. Oh, we're heading back into ads. Hold on to your ads, people. Fox, you're hanging in there. Your project started to crash Godot. Admittedly, you hadn't been doing a good job with version control. Oh no. I hate losing work like that. Crazy that you're crashing Godot. That's like hard to do. Like you can crash the game easy, but crashing the whole... I found it refreshingly difficult to crash the actual editor in Godot compared to at least how easy it was to do in Unity. Starting over, but you have a reference project. Oh no, you've reached that phase. You've reached the I might as well start over phase. I'm sure you'll get back to the level that your reference project was at pretty quickly. But yeah, that's frustrating. When that seems like the best option. I've been there. Everyone's been there. Anyone who hasn't restarted their project 2 or 3 times to re-architect it or whatever hasn't been doing indie game dev. Yeah, it sucks. You've been refactoring like crazy and loving the changes, recreating each class one by one. Oh, neat. Yeah, in a passion project like that, you might as well do what's going to make you happy to work on the project going forward, you know? What are we looking at here? Yeah, I'll let you know when the ads are over. Rhiannon, you thought throwing it all away and starting over was 90% of development? It is. It is. Shenanigans. Excuse me. Marketing's the sort of thing nobody likes, but it works. There's definitely better forms of advertising than others. Oh yeah, for sure. You're the lead developer at an advertising agency. You don't deal a lot with the actual marketing stuff, but you get to touch a broad set of different types of interesting projects because of it. You made some interactive 3D iPad medical diagrams, some touchscreen applications for trade shows, etc. Oh, cool. Yeah, that seems fun. It seems like everyone's needs would be pretty bespoke in that kind of an environment, and that's probably where a lot of the fun is, maybe. I could see that. Or at least a lot of variety. Oh, this is all still commented out. That's not good. Well, hopefully it's fine. You're back. What's going on right now? What are we working on? Yeah, we're working on the auto tiler. This is kind of just the rule book about how each layer gets auto tiled depending on whether it's like an overlay or like an actual like opaque surface or whatever. Getting a little weird behavior, especially with the semi-transparent overlay, but I think it's because we're modulating on the tile map layer. But yeah, we're just tightening up some of these rules. We got it pretty much sorted out at this point, I think. We made some changes so that we could better support outlining in dynamically interesting situations, and we pretty much added all the functionality we need for that, I think. Everything's looking pretty much back to normal now, which... Oh, nope. Okay, so there's still a gap there for some reason. Is there a gap on this side too? Yeah. So there's an area that's missing the white outline. It's the negative X side. Or it's the negative X outline, I guess I should say. And it's being omitted when it shouldn't be, when it should stick around. There's probably a cutaway check we're not making. Because it's fine here. So it's an overlay specific check that we're skipping. All right, where would that be? That would be the... Oh yeah, right here. Not has negative X. Deck plate X, deck plate Y. So somewhere here. And mask contains our neighbor. Or we aren't contained. How does it, what's said here? It's a little weird because the other layers basically seem to say the same thing and work. So why doesn't this layer? It's gotta be this. This doesn't make sense. Because if this thing says that we need an outline, it should overwrite everything except this. So this is causing us problems for some reason on this layer only. Very strange, very strange. Yeah, it sees the underlying outline. It's like, yeah, I should draw that, but for some reason it's like doesn't want to draw this. Why is that? Is it because we're part of this, we're part of there? We need to ask something else. We need to ask another question. Actually, it's kind of weird why this is happening. It doesn't actually make a lot of sense. All right, one last obvious outlining problem that we can see. And I can't see any more. I'm sure they'll pop up, but I can't see any right now, except this one. So, this is exciting. Don't let the wistful harmonica mislead you. All right, good night, Mr. Magoo. Tell CA2 Software you say hi. Yeah, I will. I will. I will raid into them. Thanks for hanging out. We'll probably keep going here for another 20, 30 minutes. I want to leave. I need to leave enough time that I can eat some lunch before my next meeting. 20, 30 minutes should be fine. All right, none of this looks different than the layers that is working correctly, so I'm a bit at a loss. It could be that there's some trick here that doesn't matter normally, but does matter when you're asking about it for the purpose of the outline overlay. That seems unlikely, but it's possible. It seems unlikely that we have a problem with the file or anything. I don't really believe that. This music's putting me to sleep, huh? I guess I could check that piece here. I don't think there could possibly be a problem here, but maybe there is. This all looks right. All right, so why? Why do we see this problem? Why do we see this problem in exactly the case that we see it, though? Which is like this. Which is like this. See this? If I do it like this, it works fine too. But this, oh. Interesting. It's if both of these are. Oh, I need an additional check. Wait, how is this not coming up as a problem elsewhere? Why is it only here? Yeah, there's some check that we're doing in the general auto tiler on the other layers that is protecting us from this, and we don't have whatever check this is on the deck plates. And that is causing a problem. So what specific carve out is protecting us from this? It's probably the check that's like this, plus X minus Y. Cutaway adjacent cut. Has any. I could remove all of this. It fits though. Back from your short nap. Tyler done yet? Almost. There's one error that I'm seeing that I am unable to figure out here. Okay, so there in theory is this. And cutaways. Okay, so if we're the same hull type and there isn't a cutaway behind us. Yeah. And there isn't a hull piece. Oh. How does that check here go? Oh no, we're still doing the same check here too. Shouldn't we be checking the other side? Hull key with lower bulk Y with, I think it's this. I think it's this check here. I think this check is protecting us from having this problem. What if we insert that here? Where did I copy that from? I don't actually know. Get rid of that. Let's do this correctly. Let's try to do this the right way. Grab this one here. Is it this one? Hulls contains key deck plate X. Lower. Oh, this is the wrong area. Grab this. Grab this one. Wait. Upper bulk X. Lower bulk X. Hulls contains key. Hull with. Oh, what the heck kind of check is this? That's a little weird. I don't know if that should be there. Lower bulk checks lower bulk. Upper bulk. Still says lower bulk here. That seems like a mistake. Okay, it looks like I found another section of code that never changed. Lower. Yeah, okay, this code never changed either. This isn't quite right. Some of this I feel like I could change, but I don't really want to because it's kind of working. I do think this area is wrong. I think I just copied over the lower wall portion rules, and it just happens to be working for the upper wall most of the time. It's weird that it's working, though. There's probably a lot of circumstances where it wouldn't be working, and I haven't found them, but seems mostly fine. Oh, there's something weird. Okay, well, I found something else that's wrong. That's good, I guess, in a way. Why is that always drawing there? And again, whose fault is this? Why isn't it happening on both sides? Is more interesting, the question. Okay, let's go find a difference. Okay, I don't see a difference here. It's probably in here. All right, where's the difference here? This looks kind of right, though. Oh, here it is. Okay. I think that should fix that. Not to point fingers, but you mean I'm the only dev on this project. That's true. That's true. It's probably my fault. Yeah, I don't have the benefit of getting to like blame Claude and whoever. This is all mine. Sometimes autocomplete does fail me though. It's kind of my fault for using autocomplete, but yeah, what is causing this? What a strange issue to be having. Ooh, we can teach the auto tiler some more stuff. There's some fun stuff we can teach about cutting away the walls. We can do more interesting stuff there than what we've currently got. That one issue is bothering me though. All right, let's see if we still have this thing we spotted. Don't think we do. Yeah, okay, that's fixed. Oh, there's a corner problem. I see it. I see an issue with one of the corners. It's wrong. All right, can I understand exactly why it's wrong? We actually should very much not be able to get to that. That is open, that is open. Oh. That's the negative X positive Y corner for a deck plate. We have that. We have that here. So why, what's the prob? Diagonal is equal to hull type now. If not, hulls try gets, okay, mask is not, if mask is not null, not hulls dot contains key, z plus 1, so below us, upper bulk X, or not contains key. What does this contain? What are we doing this for? Very strange. Sapphire, you ran into an interesting problem with your script that would auto-assign your cell shader to your models. The act of having a script being assigned to a root node, not to a root node as a default importer setting for scenes was making your project unopenable. You ended up reworking the script so you don't manually run the script. Sets all the materials in your currently edited scene. Oh, you do run it manually. Okay, cool. Interesting. That's weird. Next, you're using an add-on that was made for creating nice-looking houses on your map to switch the different faces of the map out for different types of street parts, which you set up to be the same as the map grid. The most cursed part is how well this works. You can just duplicate your map once and assign each tile as a different material, which will switch out the part for one part in a collection. Interesting. So when you set the fake map's material, the face gets changed out properly. It sounds good. All right, so I don't understand why that corner is misbehaving. Probably all of these options. This is probably too many opportunities to get rid of the corner. I need to actually keep it for one of them. So we check below us, and then for some reason we check across from us. I don't think it's quite right. Oh well. We'll figure that out. Okay, we've got some work ahead of us. We're not totally done with this yet, you know? I know it seems like we're basically done, but we got a few more bugs to iron out. I really don't understand this one. This thing that happens. It's just that one missing spot. Very strange. So we have that as a problem, and then we have a little bit of corner problems, but we have an edge case and a corner case, and that's all I see at the moment. We have this, and then we have this, which is the partial cutaway, which I am not sure how much I love. We have to retrain the walls for this. We probably just need to go through the upper walls once through all of them just to make sure, because I'm pretty sure there's some code that didn't get changed that needs to change. I think it's causing some problems. Not really 100% sure what's going on there. Oh well, we're in a good spot. And unlike last week, I think we're gonna have a pretty normal streaming schedule this week. Let's try to find this streamer Magoo asked us to raid. What are they called? CA2 something? CA2 software. There we go. Oh my lord, 10 hours. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Maximum warp Nix. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do more of the same. Hopefully we're almost done. Hopefully I'm a little more focused and I'll be able to read through some of those auto tiling rule groups and actually understand what's happening. Thanks for the hydrate, Fox. This has been fun, as always. I know we didn't get a ton done, but we fixed some bugs. You know, that's what you do. We reformatted some stuff. There's only so much. Hydrate and stretch. And stretch, Fox Shadow. All right, I'll stretch. I'm also going to get up and make some lunch. All right, we're going to check out this software programmer. Doing GPU programming. All right. We'll go say hello. This person really puts in the work. They're 10 hours in already. Where's the go for a 5K run button? You can't afford it. Yeah, sounds good, Arneo. You might even work less than during what you did today. Well, I'm going to try to do more, so that's okay. We can trade off. We'll trade it off. All right. We got the raid queued up. How much you're saving up your points? Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to get some high roller channel point sinks. You should start streaming. You should. You should, Fox Shadow. It's good. It's good for accountability. It's nice. It's fun. I enjoy it. Too nervous? Don't worry about it. It's a nice build up because you start out, there's very few people around, and you get more comfortable and you get more experienced as the viewer count goes up. So it's like, it's really nice. It's really easy for your streaming skill to grow along with your channel. And you can always tell when you're like starting to exceed that. It's nice. Yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
He's dead, Jim.